We're now going to have a look at the intuitive graphical user interface in FluidFlow, which facilitates faster model building, troubleshooting, and technical analysis. FluidFlow consists of 4 distinct areas. The area that takes up the most of screen real estate is the Flowsheet. This is where we build our models and define connectivity. Along the side of the Flowsheet is the Flowsheet toolbar, which is divided into 2 sections, Flowsheet Tools and Flowsheet Settings. The Tools section allows us to use a Select tool to select single items on the flowsheet or the Mark Area tool to select multiple components at the same time. When multiple components are selected, we can move them around the flowsheet as a block. We can also multi-select by shift-clicking on the required components in the flowsheet. Multi-select not only lets us move components around the flowsheet, but it also allows us to change common parameters for the component from the input editor. We can also add text, shapes, and resize objects as required. Additional features include the ability to place images and sheets for flowsheet customization. Meanwhile, the Settings toolbar focuses on grid and visibility options to tailor your workspace to your needs. You can change the grid between isometric and orthogonal modes from here. The icons at the bottom of the bar allow us to toggle some of the important information that is displayed on the flowsheet. For example, we can show node and pipe numbers, show or hide specific results on the flowsheet, show or hide text, and also turn off the warning identification function. The flyby tool can also be used to scan the model and display specific results for components throughout the system. The second key area of the interface is the component palette, where we find all the components we will need to build a model. The palette can be found along the top of the flowsheet and consists of a number of tabs under which the components are grouped by type. For example, we can select pipes in a wide range of materials. We can specify our boundaries depending on the data or design condition we have available to us: pressures, flows, tanks, open-ended pipes. We can also select a pump type from here: centrifugal pumps, positive displacement pumps, fans, and compressors. We have a large number of valve types and also a selection of control valves for both flow and pressure. Check valves, resistances, process equipment, orifice plates and expanders, and heat exchangers are all available to use. It is also important to note that behind each of these components is a large database containing all the engineering parameters required for flow modeling. We'll look at databases in more detail in the 9th video of the series. The third key area of the interface is comprised of the input editor and the data palette. This is where we interact with the model, defining our inputs prior to calculation and interrogating our results once the model is run. The input editor is where we specify the parameters for our components. The available fields update automatically depending on the type of component selected and the options available for that component. Located at the bottom of the input editor is the data palette, which consists of a number of tabs. The Messages tab allows us to view any messages or warnings that have been enunciated in the design. By clicking on a message here, the relevant item is highlighted on the flowsheet. The Results tab is where we can interrogate our results. Again, the results available for display update automatically depending on the component selected and are fairly user-definable from the Set Visible Results window, which can be accessed by pressing F8 or this button here. This dialog allows us to specify exactly which results are displayed when we look in the Results tab by checking or unchecking the relevant box. The Chart tab allows us to look at the system curve for pipe components and also pump curves, including efficiency and NPSH data. The List tab shows a list of all the components in the model. Finding and selecting elements can easily be done using the Filter field. You can also multi-select components from the list. For example, in this model, we can select all the 18-inch pipes, move over to the input editor, and change them all to 16-inch. In the next video, we'll build our first model, a simple water distribution system.